The truth is, your focus didn't just drift away. It was stolen. Johann Hari. Have you noticed it? You sit down to work, and before you know it, you're checking your phone. You try to read, but your mind keeps wandering. You open a tab, and suddenly you're lost in something else entirely. It's like your thoughts are no longer your own, like your attention has been hijacked. And if that feels familiar, you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not your fault. In Stolen Focus, Johann Hari reveals something that changes the way we understand distraction. Our ability to focus hasn't failed us. It's been taken by powerful systems that profit from our inability to concentrate. This isn't just about screen time, it's about the very structure of our lives, our technology, our habits, our environments, designed to divide our attention and pull us away from what really matters. The cost isn't just lower productivity, it's a fading connection to ourselves, to others, and to the depth of life. But here's the good news. Focus can be reclaimed, and this video will show you how, through the story of someone who lost his focus and found a way back. Welcome to Book Play, where we turn powerful books into powerful life changes. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you never miss a life-changing lesson from the books that transform your mindset. Your focus matters because your attention shapes your reality, and it's time to take it back. Meet Oliver. He's 28 years old and works as a marketing specialist in a bustling city agency. Like many young professionals today, Oliver is driven. He wants to build a meaningful career, contribute creatively, and find satisfaction in his work. But lately something feels off. Oliver wakes up most mornings feeling drained before the day has even begun. His mind races with tasks, worries about deadlines, and a persistent nagging sense that he's falling behind. Instead of starting his day focused and energized, he instinctively reaches for his phone. Scrolling through social media, news updates, and messages has become his morning ritual, but it rarely brings peace. Instead, it leaves him more distracted and anxious. At work, the challenges mount. Oliver's schedule is packed, meetings one after another, emails flooding in non-stop, and projects demanding his constant attention. He tries to carve out time for deep, focused work, but it's nearly impossible. Every few minutes, a ping from his phone or a notification on his computer pulls his attention away. He feels fragmented, like he's juggling dozens of thoughts at once, but never fully completing anything. This constant interruption leaves Oliver frustrated and exhausted. He notices how his motivation is fading. Where once he was confident in his skills and ideas, he now questions his own capabilities. Am I just not cut out for this? He wonders. Why can't I focus like I used to? Is it me? By the end of the workday, Oliver often feels burned out rather than accomplished. He intends to relax and recharge, but even his evenings are fractured by distraction. His free time disappears into endless scrolling, switching between apps, binge-watching shows without fully enjoying them, and checking work emails late into the night. The quiet moments, time to reflect, think, or just breathe, feel like a distant memory. The struggle isn't just about productivity, it's deeper than that. Oliver feels disconnected from himself and from the world around him. He's aware that his ability to concentrate, to be fully present, is slipping away. It's as if his attention is being pulled in 1,000 directions, leaving him feeling scattered and hollow. One particularly difficult evening, after missing a critical deadline and feeling overwhelmed by anxiety and self-doubt, Oliver decides to search for answers. He's tired of feeling like this, tired of the exhaustion, the distraction, and the creeping sense that something fundamental is wrong. During this search, he comes across a book recommendation, Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. The title alone grabs his attention. Curious, he reads summaries and reviews, discovering that the book explores why so many people today struggle with focus. It's not about individual failure or a lack of discipline. Instead, Hari argues that our ability to pay attention is being deliberately eroded by forces in our environment. Technology, social media platforms, fast-paced lifestyles, and societal pressures all play a role. Oliver feels a surge of relief. Suddenly, what he thought was a personal flaw begins to make sense as part of a larger shared experience. He is not alone, and the problem is not entirely his fault. This realization sparks hope. Maybe there is a way to understand what's happening to him and others, and perhaps even to reclaim control over his focus. That night, Oliver pulls the book off the shelf and opens it for the first time. As he reads the introduction, a quiet optimism grows within him. The pages seem to hold the possibility of a new beginning, a path toward clarity, peace, and purpose that he hasn't felt in a long time. For the first time in months, Oliver feels ready to face his struggle with focus head-on. The journey ahead might be challenging, but he's willing to take the first step. The book that changed everything for Oliver is Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. This is not just another book about productivity or distraction. It's a groundbreaking investigation into why so many of us today feel like we can't focus, no matter how hard we try. Johann Hari begins by challenging a common belief, that our loss of focus is simply a matter of personal failure or weak willpower. Instead, he reveals that focus is being stolen from us by complex, powerful forces embedded in the very fabric of modern life. Hari takes us on a journey through scientific research, expert interviews, and personal stories that uncover the hidden causes behind this crisis of attention. It's a web that includes more than just the smartphones in our pockets or the apps we mindlessly scroll through. It's about how the entire culture of distraction has evolved, from the design of addictive technologies to the fast-paced demands of work, to societal changes that erode our ability to rest and recharge. One key insight Hari shares is how technology companies profit by capturing and dividing our attention. Algorithms are engineered to keep us hooked, often pulling us away from meaningful tasks or relationships, replacing depth with constant, shallow engagement. It's not just a minor inconvenience. It's a systemic problem that affects millions worldwide. But Stolen Focus goes beyond screens. Hari explains how other factors contribute to this depletion of attention. Chronic stress, sleep deprivation, lack of exposure to nature, poor diet, and a work culture that glorifies multitasking and constant availability. Together, these elements create an environment where our brains are overwhelmed, scattered, and exhausted. The impact of this lost focus reaches far beyond missing deadlines or feeling unproductive. It affects our mental health, leading to anxiety, depression, and burnout. It damages our relationships by making it harder to be truly present with others. It stifles creativity, making it difficult to connect ideas and solve problems. And most importantly, it disconnects us from ourselves, from our values, our purpose, and what truly matters. For Oliver, understanding these layers brought relief. It explained the invisible forces that had been working against him. But the book doesn't leave us powerless. Hari also offers pathways to reclaim our focus and restore balance, both as individuals and as societies. He shares practical strategies from improving sleep and managing digital habits to cultivating mindfulness and seeking deeper connections with nature and community. He advocates for larger cultural changes, like rethinking how workplaces operate and how technology is designed, pushing for a world where attention is respected and protected. This message of hope and action is what makes Stolen Focus so compelling. It's not just about surviving distraction, it's about thriving despite it. It shows that focus isn't a finite resource to be lost forever, but a skill and a right to be reclaimed. For Oliver, the book became a guide, a map out of the fog of distraction and burnout towards a clearer, more intentional way of living. And in the lessons ahead, we'll explore some of the most powerful ideas from Stolen Focus. ideas that can help you too take back your attention and start living with greater clarity and purpose. Lesson number 1. Focus is being stolen. Focus is not something we lose by accident. It is being taken away from us by outside forces beyond our control. For many years, Oliver struggled with his ability to concentrate. He often found himself starting a task with good intentions, only to have his mind wander after just a few minutes. He blamed himself for being lazy or lacking discipline. Every time he noticed himself distracted, checking his phone, switching between tabs, or losing track of time, he felt frustrated and disappointed. This cycle made him doubt his own abilities and lowered his confidence. He began to wonder if he was simply not capable of focusing like others seemed to. Then, everything started to change when Oliver read Stolen Focus by Johann Hari. The book opened his eyes to a new truth. His difficulty focusing was not just a personal weakness. It was part of a larger problem, one that many people face. Powerful companies, social media platforms, and modern culture were all designed to capture and fragment his attention. They didn't want him to focus deeply. They wanted him to keep scrolling, clicking, and switching his attention again and again. At first, this realization made Oliver feel a mix of emotions. He felt sadness and even anger that his attention was being taken from him without his clear consent. But he also felt relief. Relief in knowing that he wasn't alone and that his struggles made sense. It wasn't his fault. This new understanding gave him hope. If his focus was being stolen, then maybe he could find ways to take it back. With this hope, Oliver began to pay close attention to his daily habits. He noticed what pulled his attention away most often: his phone's constant notifications, the endless lure of social media, noisy environments that distracted him. Recognizing these patterns was the first step toward change. He started making small but meaningful changes. He turned off notifications that weren't necessary, set specific times to check his phone instead of constantly reacting to it, and created quiet, distraction-free spaces for his work. These small adjustments gave Oliver a new feeling, one of control over his own attention, rather than feeling like a victim of constant distraction. By understanding that his focus was being stolen, Oliver stopped blaming himself. He saw that reclaiming his attention was possible, and that gave him a new sense of confidence. And once Oliver grasped this truth, he naturally began to ask, if focus is being stolen, what is the biggest thief of attention today? The answer is technology. In the next lesson, we will explore how technology pulls our focus away and what steps we can take to protect ourselves. Lesson number 2. Tech steals our attention. Technology is not just a tool. It has quietly become the biggest thief of our attention. After Oliver understood that his focus was being stolen, he started paying closer attention to the role technology played in his life. He noticed how often he reached for his smartphone without thinking, opening apps just to check one thing, but ending up lost in endless scrolling. Social media, news feeds, messages, each seemed to compete for his attention, pulling him away from his work, his thoughts, and even from moments with friends and family. At first, this constant distraction made Oliver feel powerless. He was overwhelmed by the speed and volume of information flooding his screen. It seemed impossible to keep up. His mind was jumping from one notification to the next, leaving him feeling exhausted and unable to focus on anything meaningful. But stolen focus gave Oliver a new perspective. He learned that these distractions were not random or accidental. Technology companies spend billions of dollars designing their products to capture and hold our attention for as long as possible. Features like infinite scrolling, autoplay videos, and push notifications are carefully engineered to keep users hooked. Every like, every alert is designed to trigger a small burst of pleasure in the brain, encouraging us to stay engaged and come back for more. This realization was eye-opening for Oliver. He was not weak or lacking willpower. He was facing carefully built systems that wanted to hijack his focus for profit. This helped him stop blaming himself and instead see the challenge clearly. With this new understanding, Oliver decided to take action. He started by deleting apps that gave him little value and were biggest distractions. He set daily time limits on social media so he would not lose hours without realizing it. He turned off non-essential notifications, allowing only the important calls or messages to come through. He even experimented with apps and tools designed to block distracting websites during focused work periods. The changes were difficult at first. Oliver experienced moments of boredom and discomfort, feelings he had grown unused to in a world of constant stimulation. But as he practiced, he found these moments of quiet were not empty. They were peaceful and allowed his mind to rest and refocus. Gradually, he felt more in control of his attention and less overwhelmed. Oliver's journey taught him a powerful lesson. Technology can steal our attention, but we can learn to use it mindfully, taking back control over how and when we engage with it. As he continued this journey, Oliver began to realize that there were other hidden factors affecting his ability to focus. Stress, anxiety, and mental health were deeply connected to attention. He wondered, how do these emotional and mental challenges play a role in stealing focus? In the next lesson, we will explore how managing mental health and stress is essential to reclaiming true focus and calm. Lesson number 3: stress destroys focus. Stress is a silent, powerful force that slowly steals our ability to focus, often without us realizing it. As Oliver continued his journey to reclaim his attention, he became painfully aware of how stress was quietly but surely sabotaging his efforts. Whether it was the constant pressure of deadlines at work, worries about his career path, or personal challenges outside of his job, Oliver found himself carrying a heavy weight inside. This stress wasn't just a background feeling, it was a constant noise in his mind, pulling his attention in 1,000 different directions. Stolen focus helped Oliver understand what was really happening inside his brain during these stressful times. When we experience stress, our bodies release chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. These chemicals are designed to prepare us for immediate danger by activating our fight or flight response. In this state, the brain prioritizes scanning for threats, not focusing on deep, thoughtful work. Our attention becomes scattered, jumping from one worry to the next, and our ability to concentrate sharply declines. Oliver realized this perfectly described his experience. Instead of focusing on his tasks, his mind was busy worrying about what could go wrong, whether he would meet a deadline, if he was good enough, or how to handle conflicts with colleagues. This constant stress made him feel restless and tired. Sometimes, even when he tried to sit down and work, his mind would wander uncontrollably, and frustration would build. He felt stuck in a cycle where stress blocked focus, and lack of focus caused more stress. But stolen focus also gave Oliver hope by showing him that stress, while powerful, can be managed. He learned that the key to protecting his focus was not to eliminate stress completely, that would be impossible, but to develop habits that helped him reduce its impact and recover quickly. Oliver began by recognizing early signs of stress in his body: tight shoulders, shallow breathing, or a racing heart. When he noticed these signals, he practiced simple breathing exercises to calm his nervous system. Taking slow, deep breaths helped him slow down his thoughts and bring his attention back to the present moment. He also started to schedule regular breaks during his workday. Instead of pushing through stress, Oliver learned to step away, even for 5 minutes, to stretch, walk, or simply rest his eyes. These breaks were not a waste of time. They were moments to reset his mind and improve his overall productivity. In addition, Oliver found that organizing his workload made a big difference. He began breaking large projects into smaller, manageable tasks, which helped reduce the feeling of overwhelm. By focusing on one step at a time, he felt less pressured and more capable. Perhaps most importantly, Oliver practiced being kind to himself. He stopped beating himself up for feeling stressed or distracted. Instead, he accepted that stress was a normal part of life, and learning to manage it was a skill to develop. Over time, these changes brought a new calm and clarity to Oliver's life. His focus improved, not because he forced it harder, but because he created the right conditions for his brain to work well. And as Oliver learned to manage stress, he began asking, what daily habits can help keep his focus strong and steady, even when challenges come? Lesson number 4. Sleep affects attention. One of the most important discoveries Oliver made on his journey was how deeply sleep influences our ability to focus. Before reading Stolen Focus, Oliver thought sacrificing sleep was a normal part of being productive. He often stayed up late, answering emails, scrolling on his phone, or trying to get just one more thing done. He believed that pushing through tiredness was necessary to meet his goals, but the book revealed a surprising truth. The less sleep we get, the harder it is for our brain to concentrate, remember information, and make good decisions. Stolen Focus explained that during sleep, our brain goes through important processes to clear out toxins, organize memories, and restore energy. Without enough sleep, these processes don't happen properly. This causes a buildup of fatigue that slows down our thinking and weakens our ability to resist distractions. Oliver began to connect this with his own experience. He recalled many mornings when he woke up feeling tired and foggy, struggling to focus even on simple tasks. Coffee and energy drinks helped a little, but they were only short-term fixes. He realized that his brain was not getting the rest it desperately needed to function well. Understanding this, Oliver decided to make sleep a priority. He created a bedtime routine to help his body and mind prepare for rest. This included turning off screens at least an hour before bed to reduce exposure to blue light, which can disrupt the production of melatonin, the hormone that controls our sleep cycle. He made sure his bedroom was quiet, cool, and dark, creating the ideal environment for deep, uninterrupted sleep. At first, changing his habits was not easy. The temptation to check social media or finish one more task kept pulling him away from bed. But Oliver reminded himself that true productivity comes from sustainable focus, and sleep was the foundation. Gradually, he began to notice the positive effects. His mornings became brighter and clearer. Tasks that once felt overwhelming were now manageable. His energy improved, and so did his mood. Most importantly, he could focus longer without feeling mentally drained. Oliver's journey taught him a vital lesson. No matter how many focus techniques we try, without good sleep, our brain cannot perform at its best. This understanding gave Oliver new motivation to protect his sleep as a critical part of his focus strategy. And as Oliver improved his sleep habits, he began to ask, what daily routines can he build to support and strengthen his focus every day? In the next lesson, we will explore simple, practical daily routines that help protect and grow focus over time. Lesson number 5. Build focus-friendly routines. As Oliver continued his journey, he realized that focus is not just about avoiding distractions or learning a single trick. It's about creating a daily life that naturally supports attention and mental clarity. This meant building routines, small, consistent habits that make it easier to stay focused without constant effort. Stolen Focus explains that our brains respond well to regular patterns. When we have clear routines, our minds know what to expect and can prepare for focused work. Without routines, we leave our attention vulnerable to distractions and stress. Oliver started by setting specific times in his day, dedicated to deep, uninterrupted work. He learned that trying to focus all day without breaks only led to exhaustion and mistakes. So, he blocked out chunks of time when he was most alert, usually in the morning, and used those periods to tackle his most important tasks. During these focus blocks, Oliver turned off all notifications on his phone and computer. He even set an automatic reply to let others know he was unavailable. At first, this felt uncomfortable. He worried about missing something important. But soon, he saw how much more productive and calm he became. He also realized the importance of taking regular breaks. Instead of pushing through fatigue, Oliver took short pauses to stand up, stretch, or just breathe. These moments helped refresh his mind and kept him from feeling burned out. He discovered that rest was not a reward, but a necessary part of sustained focus. Oliver built a simple but powerful morning routine. Each day, he spent a few minutes stretching to wake his body gently. Then he wrote down his top 2 priorities for the day. This act of choosing what mattered most gave him a clear direction and kept him from feeling overwhelmed by his to-do list. He also organized his workspace to reduce distractions. Oliver removed clutter, kept only the essentials on his desk, and made sure his workspace was bright and ventilated. He noticed that a tidy, comfortable environment helped his brain stay calm and ready for focus. Through these changes, Oliver learned that focus is a lifestyle, not just a skill to switch on and off. It requires consistent care, both for the mind and the environment around it. And as Oliver embraced these routines, he began to wonder, how can he keep growing his focus over time and protect it in a world that constantly tries to steal his attention? Oliver's journey from feeling lost in distraction to gaining clarity and control over his focus was a gradual, sometimes difficult process. Like many of us, he started out overwhelmed, pulled in too many directions, juggling endless tasks, and constantly interrupted by notifications and competing demands. At times, he doubted whether he could ever take back his attention from the chaos of modern life. But as he delved deeper into the lessons of stolen focus, Oliver began to see that losing focus is not a permanent condition. It's a common challenge, especially today, but one that can be addressed and reversed. Through understanding how chronic stress slowly erodes our attention, how vital sleep is to mental sharpness, and how creating simple daily routines can support sustained focus, Oliver gradually rebuilt his ability to concentrate. More importantly, he learned that focus isn't just a one-time achievement or a talent reserved for a few. It's a skill, a muscle that grows stronger with care, patience, and consistent effort. It requires kindness toward ourselves and a commitment to small daily habits rather than quick fixes or perfection. This change in mindset gave Oliver a new sense of hope and confidence. Instead of feeling like a victim of distraction, he became the author of his own attention, able to decide what deserves his focus and energy. He found freedom in choosing what matters most and protecting it fiercely. Oliver's story is not unique. It mirrors the struggles so many of us face in this fast-paced, digitally connected world. But his journey also offers a powerful message. Reclaiming your focus is an act of courage and self-respect. It means standing up for your own priorities, creating space for deep work, and giving yourself the care you need to thrive mentally and emotionally. So now take a moment to reflect on your own life. What is one small change you can make today to start protecting your focus? Maybe it's setting boundaries around your screen time, creating a calming morning ritual, or prioritizing rest without guilt. Remember, even the smallest step forward is progress. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to do it all at once. Focus is a journey, one that grows with each intentional choice you make. And every positive change you make to support your attention is a gift to yourself, one that will ripple through all areas of your life. If you found this video helpful and inspiring, please consider liking it and subscribing to Bookplay. We are here to bring you clear, practical wisdom from powerful books, tools that can help you transform your mindset, boost your productivity, and live a more focused and fulfilling life. Thank you for being part of this journey with Oliver, and for dedicating your time to reclaiming your focus. Remember, you have the power to change your attention and your life one step at a time. Stay patient, stay committed, and keep growing. We look forward to sharing more life-changing lessons with you soon.